when he's going to stand a little bit. Just sit edging backward.
You can try and see how far you can reach.
Yeah.
See how far it reaches for you.
Yeah, I can move closer, yeah.
It's up to you. It's for the cement table, so you just put them in front of you guys.
How are you?
I think you're good. Comes on.
What's happening?
And then when you guys are ready, just
You see that?
put the thumbs up and I'll turn them on.
Just walk around.
My wife got home from work and she decided to start cooking. So midnight, she woke up. So I thought I'll get up and go to the toilet. So I went to the toilet, went to bed. Then I woke up at 2 o'clock and then 3 or 4 times between 2 and 5 I woke up and between 5 and 6 I wanted to sleep. I think it's the second half.
Yeah.
Someone.
Matthew Atkins is not a technical player, and Matthew Atkins is sort of player you put out there, and he's got pure flight and power, and that's what you get from it. But playing with defensive block in that block, there's no Matthew Atkins today. He's up here, waiting for you to get a long ball to him. Well, the girls are talking about that on the way here. Apparently, he got done for taking a bribe, and I said, well, I was like £150.
Is he American?
No, look, but
Do you want something?
it's the times that you would think about doing something like that. That's your stock of dollars.
Yeah.
We had that ball, that Araconda in the box, jumping and 2 hands in the chest, pushed him away from the ball, and he was off play on. There's some shocking.
Oh, really some shocking.
But I must admit, we played better in the second half, and that's the way we probably should have started.
Yeah, a passing thing.
Yeah. Well, we had 2 rows and one sitting slightly high, but he was just in front of the midfield. The ball comes out, so I don't go to it.
Then Steph was saying that offside thing was just
Oh, the goal.
yeah.
Look, I think he was onside. The other 2 were off, and he sort of blind.
The other guy was
defender.
The others were off.
There was 2 others offside. He was onside. And when I say onside, I reckon there's probably a foot in it.
Yeah,
He was
that's what
onside by about
that's what they
40
show.
miles.
And when you say 14 minutes, not 12 inches.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
But then again, the other 2 players, they put pressure on the keeper. So they interfere with play.
Well, they talked about
And is that a rule?
I saw that, and it didn't make a. Yeah, they weren't. They didn't stop the keeper from getting to.
There was another one that pulled up where you went. And then there was some.
There were a lot of yellow cards.
We'll start with this a little bit. It's so close and no one. We were getting hacked a little bit.
You see that one we got there? You know what? That was a little bit too long. Let's see. You got that yellow shot. What was the score in the last weekend?
So you went on Australia last week and
I saw the response. Dana was reading it, both drivers, Dana was reading the response. But what they failed to acknowledge is the centre rep is Azzurri. I mean, the linesman, the main sport, it is Olympic, plays for Olympic, and Rob Brown, the fourth official, plays for Olympic, is an Olympic person. Now, they're saying neither of them had a say in that the centre rep forward had made an error, but I don't think they're involved in it. Come from the pictures of the job.
how does that happen?
When you have three or four officials,
No, exactly. She was looking into the confirmation. Did you see that?
and again, I'm sorry.
She said it very She said it was around. Just yesterday.
But that was so blatant. That cut was a 0 against their mate, 6-0 against 6-1. But I said, then you lost the game. Sorry, we'll start that.
Sorry.
It was like it was 3 points.
Sorry. You know, the thing is, like, which they're not.
Yeah.
We do sessions at the time, right? We go through the region and educate.
And then you try to fill the gaps.
Always reviewing the mistakes they made because it's endless.
welcome to a cracking afternoon of football from Lyle Car Oval as Charlestown, Azzurri play host to New Lambton in round 15 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales competition. Before we get underway, this weekend Northern New South Wales celebrates Pride Round, recognising the values of inclusion, respect and community across our game, with clubs, players, officials and supporters coming together to help ensure football remains a welcoming environment for everyone. To the action. For Charlestown Azzurri, there is plenty of reason for optimism heading into today's contest. Alicia Ferguson's side are unbeaten in their last 3 matches and continue to show signs of growth as the season progresses. The addition of the experienced A-League women's veterans Libby Copus-Brown and Taryn King has added a significant boost, bringing leadership, quality and composure to a young Azzurri outfit. Standing in their way, though, is a New Lambton side with its sights firmly set on chasing down ladder leaders Maitland. New Lambton, they announced themselves to the competition in emphatic fashion back in round 1 with a 10-0 win over Charlestown and sending a statement to the rest of the league. I'm Harry Scobie, and it's great to be alongside sports journalist Renee Valentine for the Flash. Renee, I think we're in for a good one this afternoon and hopefully a little bit more tighter than the round 1 fixture.
I agree, Harry. We were just talking, obviously, off air about, I don't think we've got to this time in a season where, you know, normally the top 4 is settled. I think we've got 2 clear front runners, but those other semi-final spots, they're way up for grabs. And yeah, I'm excited. Azzurri are coming off some good results. They'll have a bit of confidence. They've got some good inclusions. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It was a draw last time.
Certainly was. You can see those signs of improvement for Azzurri, and as both teams make their way on the field now, how good is it to see Lauren Allen, Tara Andrews, Libby Copus-Brown, Taryn King all backing this competition, Renee?
It's great. Like, it wasn't that long ago. I remember Gemma Simon coming back from the 2019 World Cup straight onto the South Wales End team. So, you know, we've got a great history of having some of our, you know, region's best players playing in this competition, and it's wonderful to have them playing because it lifts the standard, it lifts the players around them. Like these, you know, young girls, you got 17-year-old Isabel Button playing next to Taryn King, who's a A-League championship winning captain. Yeah, it's great. It's great for the competition and it's great for the players.
Certainly is. So much experience and youth, which we like to see out there this afternoon. Let's quickly run through Charlestown's lineup, starting first with the home side, which are undefeated in their last 3 outings. Daniela Bartels in goals as always. Isabel Button, as you mentioned, alongside Taryn King in defence. Chloe Martin and Aria Descasio in the fullback positions. Sarah Perez and Rachel Perrins in the midfield alongside Elizabeth Copus-Browns, Jones, Gardner, and up top, who we were talking about off air, Janali Hunter, who's taking up a new position and doing so quite well in the attack, Renee.
Yeah, obviously she got the double against Lake Macquarie. I tuned in and was, you know, is that Janali up front? But I think, you know, with Taryn King coming in, it's allowed Azzurri to push Janali forward. She is a very attacking player when she plays that fullback role. She's got a great left foot. And I was talking to Alicia Ferguson the other week. She said she scores bombs all the time in training. And look, they need a scorer. They've only scored 11 goals this year. To get to finals, that's probably what they're going to need. And, you know, maybe Janali's the answer.
Certainly could be the case. Quickly for New Lambton before things get underway this afternoon. So it's Janali Haynes in goals, Amy Gosling, Gemma Lawson, Brianna Trappett and Molly Salvador at the back. It's a midfield of Izana Franklin, Sienna Fraser-Kelly, as well as Lauren Allen. And then in attack, Tara Andrews, Caitlin Pickett, and as Montana Quick as well there for the Golden Eagles, who are repping the white kit today. And as I mentioned in that intro, good touch from them with the colourful approach with the socks. We saw the action get underway last night at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. And this is a business end, isn't it, Renee, where so much points are up for grabs?
Teams have got, I think there might be like 8 rounds left if you look at the competition, but we've got, you know, every team's only got six games to play, or the teams played last night, obviously, and it's really tight. Adamstown beat Magic last night, 3-0. That took them off the bottom of the table, and they're level now. I think there's only, you know, a few points between 4th spot and 7th.
There certainly is so much up for grabs, and this afternoon it's a bit windy, a bit of overcast coming across, but good to see fans making their way into the ground. For those that aren't aware, no reserve grade fixture prior to this, and I have to say the field looks in relatively good condition. And here goes Azzurri on the front foot early here. They've had majority of the ball to start this one. out for a throw in the way of New Lambton. So much football, as I mentioned, with this business end of the season. You can catch it all live and free on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channels. That one thumped forward by New Lambton. They're over halfway, a chance to trap Charlestown down deep into attacking territory. Thumb forward now by Discasio. And another throw in. We've had a fair few of them to start this one. Libby Copus-Brown drifting out on this left-hand side. She's played a bit of midfield. That's where we're relatively known to seeing her. An early touch for Janali Haynes between the sticks for New Lambton.
We just spoke about where Azzurri might get some goals, and Libby Copus-Brown certainly got a few in her arsenal. So, yeah, they might be pushing her a little bit higher today. Just, you know, can we get her on the ball and get her in striking range?
Could be the case. You know, she loves to cut in on that right foot. Seen her score plenty of good goals for the Newcastle Jets. Here's her teammate, Lauren Allen. That's going to be a good battle to see how that unfolds. It's Tara Andrews who currently leads the Golden Boot, and she was well on her way after scoring 5 in the round 1 fixture when these two sides met as Azzurri come down the end. Lauren Allen doing her defensive duties well.
That was well picked off by Rachel Parenzo, wasn't it? She's been a real great addition to this competition as well. You know, come in with, I think, over 200 games in playing in the NPL in Sydney. Yeah, she's been great in this competition. She's a real workhorse.
Certainly is. And now Azzurri going back to Chloe Martin, who again was in that centre-back role earlier in the season. Pushing to a more left-back role now with the addition of Taryn King. Taryn King off the back of wouldn't say as successful as their first year in Mariners colours, where she was able to win the championship. Maybe get her back to the Jets, Renee.
Be good.
Here go New Lambton though, no foul given, a chance for Pickett to deliver. Unfortunately, crossing just hasn't been on point to start this one. It's into the hands of Bartels, who immediately, that's an impressive kick, out to Libby Copus-Brown. Doesn't have too many options in behind. Sarah Fraser-Kelly to Salvador. Allen immediately sensing danger. Going in behind, Taryn King up against Andrews. That's going to be a good battle here this afternoon.
Well, there's that class there, isn't it? You know, she's very calm. I mean, normally if you got Tara coming at you, you're probably concerned, but there was no concern there.
There's now a deflection. It's nearly found its way into the back of the net, and it's number 10 for Charlestown, which hasn't actually been
Ellie Jones.
named in number 8.
Oh.
Glad I've got you, Renee. Nearly chasing that one down and forcing Haynes just a little bit worried here early on. I definitely think this game has the potential to be a very tight encounter. Charlestown matching it with Broadmeadow last week. We know they're another side hot and cold. Tasted defeat last night, and they have the bye next week, and I think it's safe to say they'll be looking at the teams below them and hoping that a few results go their way, because they're slowly slipping down the ladder, the Magic.
Well, and we've got like a bit of a stop-start period as well. It's this really important period in the competition, but
Allen now driving forward with Andrews in the box. Those two have combined well this season, and Andrews' header, her first sighted goal this afternoon. Sorry, Renee, that combination again proving dangerous.
I was just going to say, they know each other so well, don't they? I think they could do that with their eyes closed. No, I was just going to say we're approaching a really important part of the season, but it's also a big stop-start. I think we've got a spare weekend coming up, then state cups coming up. You know, how do teams approach that? Do they play run? Do they rest them? Or, you know, they risk a few weeks with no minutes if you've also got the bye around that time as well.
Certainly is a key factor, and we'll get to the state cup shortly, where it'll be New Lambton to have their first set piece of the afternoon. It'll be Lauren Allen to take. And I do remember in the round 1 clash, Tara Andrews getting on the end of a set piece in similar positions. She's near the penalty area.
Well, I think she scored about 6 goals that game, so she probably scored every way possible, Harry.
Early ball in, cleared, and a chance for a shot on the follow-up. Nearly finding its way into the bottom corner. Yeah, from Trappert to New Lambton, looking good early.
Yeah, that's probably the highest they've come up. There's been a little bit of cat and mouse to start with, hasn't it? You know, those first 5 minutes normally in most games are always a little bit frantic. You just got to settle the nerves a little bit sometimes, and you know, you're testing each other out. How's this game going to play out? Where are they setting up? And yeah, where am I going to find some space and joy?
Seems to be the case across, I don't think only soccer, a lot of sports as well, where you don't see too many tries often early into the contest. Took Adamstown just before half-time to get their goal last night. Tanya Jones with a double in their 3-0 win. So Charlestown setting up defensively here, going to have to do a lot of work without the ball. And this is the danger of Andrews in behind. It's a miss by Button. Tara Andrews going forward up against Taryn King. A battle to watch here this afternoon. Andrews in field. Zana Franklin with loads of space out right to Salvador. Salvador to Allen. Allen looking inside, but it's the experience of Libby Copus-Brown that picks it off. Copus-Brown looking for the run. Couldn't find it on the far side.
Yeah, just not enough on the ground, on the pass there. It is a heavy ground. I mean, it looks great. It doesn't look as heavy as I've seen it here, but just need to be a bit firmer on those passes, don't you?
Certainly do. As now they'll have a chance with the ball. It's sent out wide into the feet of Gardner, who just can't reel it in for Azzurri. Atkins on his feet early. Alicia Ferguson, more of a calmer type of a coach. We know our friend Neve Owens has been doing great stuff with the coverage of the World Cup. Unfortunately, Socceroos going down this morning. But good to have Alicia Ferguson at the wheel for Azzurri, and it's fair to say they've been progressing game by game and still well and truly in the finals race.
Yeah, look, I think at the start of the season, I mean, I wrote them off like most people would have, especially after that 10-0, but she's got them playing, you know, she's got them playing to their strengths, and like I said, those additions have added a bit of confidence.
Early chance there, and Lauren Allen couldn't get on the end of it. Immediately, Bartels sends it forward. That probably shows a sign of urgency that Charlestown want to get forward and attack. Not too many options in behind. Copus-Brown resetting through Martin. Tara Andrews happy to sit off. Let Azzurri go back into the contest. Trappett picking it off. Doing well in that position. She's continued her run here. Trappett. And it will spill to Salvador, who immediately looks at the back stick. Button with the initial touch. King again following up. And Franklin unable to get it under control, but I think that'll be the danger, is finding Tara Andrews in the air for New Lambton. As Montana Quick now cinching the space, and Salvador, who was superb last week, especially defensively against Newcastle Olympic. Remember, multiple times Olympic broke forward, and Salvador, that engine there.
Well, she's great, isn't she? She can play that full-back wide role. She can kind of play in the middle. She can play up top. She can score you a goal. But, yeah, she doesn't stop. And yeah, she's a good addition to this team this year.
Discusio breaking forward, and I think that might be a corner. The first for Azzurri this afternoon. And it'll be Ellie Jones across to take. And I wouldn't be surprised if they send the tall timber of Button and Taryn King forward. King just given some final instructions to Martin. What can Azzurri conjure up here? Jones across the take. It'll be the right foot of Ellie Jones. Got a bit of height about it. Unfortunately misses the mark altogether, and probably a frustrating end to a promising attack for Azzurri.
Yeah, just a bit off target. I mean, I don't know if that wind played a little bit of a factor there. It looked like it was going to set up nice from here, but obviously, yeah, you're going to make the most of those opportunities, don't you?
Still plenty of time for Azzurri. Just getting underway here at Lyle Carr Oval. If you're just joining us, a clash that should be tighter than a lot more expect. Azzurri knowing how crucial 3 points would be. New Lambton on On the other hand, I'd like to think their sights are still remaining on finishing first, and it's certainly possible, but their only 2 defeats this season have come to Maitland, so that's a bit of a blow, but it's just hard to compete with Maitland, isn't it, overall?
Well, yeah, I think they've got a 6-point gap there. That next game, obviously, in this final round of the 3 rounds between Maitland and New Lambton, could play a factor if New Lambton can win that one. It'll give them a bit of a chance, but yeah, look, I think they're looking pretty good there for the premiership this year, Maitland.
Playing exciting football, that's for sure. Taron King slipped in that instance there, and referees deemed a handball. So who else standing over it but Tara Andrews, who will probably fancy her chances from distance. It's a fair way out, in all honesty. But then again, you've got the run of Lauren Allen positioning herself at the back stick. It's a short run up from Andrews, which makes me think she might deliver this one to a teammate. Let's see what Tara Andrews can dish up. She goes for goal. It's got a bit of height about it. And a comfortable save from Janali Hayes. Danielle Bartel, sorry.
Yeah, she hit it well, as you would expect. Bartels was, she was well across it. It probably dipped a little bit more. Like Tara probably was looking for a little bit more height in that one, but yeah, she struck it well.
Most other players in that competition, maybe bar Mary Netswang, would not go for goal. But Tara Andrews, one to keep an eye on. And she's certainly got a bit of competition in terms of the Golden Boot race this season. I think last year she won it by quite a comfortable margin. The likes of Renee Pountney. I think Mary Netswang's looking at around 10, 11. Tara Andrews sitting on 21.
Wimberley Wright, I think, is up there, about 14.
Certainly a bit of competition. It's Franklin now in behind.
You're right, though. I think this time last year, Tara had double anyone else. Certainly finished the season that way.
Like you said, got off to the perfect start here in round 1, and it wasn't just her goals that did the job. It was a huge 10-0 win in a tricky patch for Azzurri off the back of the Charity Shield. And the offside flag will be raised here.
You're right, this is a good battle between Taron King and Tara Andrews. Taron King did get the better there before the offside flag went up.
Here is Taron King driving forward into space, looking for Martin down the line. Unfortunately, a bit too much speed behind it. Six times this season that New Lambton have scored 4 goals or more, so they are certainly a threat going forward. The addition of Lauren Allen has been incredible. Here she is, poking it forward. We've seen a lot of high-scoring affairs this season. We've also seen games which have ended goalless, as was the case last Saturday between the Magic and Charlestown Azzurri. Azzurri on the front foot, pass over hit. Now Fraser Kelly, delightful first touch to bring it to control. Feeding it out wide. Lauren Allen has Andrews in the box, but it's going to be a battle with her and Chloe Martin. Allen going in field. And it's a lovely run by Tara Andrews on the spin, up against Button. Andrews cutting inside, looking to work a shot. And I wasn't sure whether she was going to use the left foot to kill that one potentially. Tried to find a teammate, still alive.
I thought she was going for that one for sure, Harry. Very selfless.
Well, the play comes to an end, and yeah, I thought she might have tried to pick out the top corner.
They did have numbers in there. They're getting good numbers forward into the box.
Bartels now sending it forward for attackers to chase. Little forwards to Haynes, who just couldn't get under control. Now Fraser Kelly up against Taron King. Fraser Kelly finding herself wider now on the touchline. Montana Quick presenting, and again, Charlestown doing their defensive duty superb. Now Libby Copus-Brown up against Salvador, who again has been such a bright spark. And now a chance to hit on the break. Gardner in plenty of space out on the right-hand side, playing through and going for goals. And it's off the crossbar into the grateful arms.
Well, that was a great passage of play, wasn't it, on the transition? Very quickly, you know, a couple of quick passes. I'm sure coaches say this all the time, you know, if you can get that ball out quickly, you obviously have the other team on the back foot, and that was a perfect example. What a great shot from Riley Gardner.
Certainly was. Nearly fooled Haynes in goals.
Well, she was off a line, wasn't she? So I think a lot of the keepers these days come fairly high, and, you know, that very quick, that's the quickest transition we've seen this game.
Certainly has been. Is it going to be a contest of New Lambton can have a lot of the ball, and Azzurri here on the break? We'll wait and see. Early signs here. That's probably the closest we've come. As now slipped through, and Lauren Allen looking to get on the end of it. Bartels comfortably alert to the situation.
It's another little nice battle we've got going here, like Libby Copus-Brown and Molly Salvador.
A lot of great battles across the park. Escarcio on the far right side up against Pickett as well. He grabbed a hat-trick last week for New Lambton in that 6-1 win over Newcastle Olympic. And now a ball played in behind. A bit of confusion from the Charlestown defence. King battling with Fraser Kelly, who's one out and tries to poke it home. Just waiting anxiously for that to roll in the corner. It wasn't to be, but a scary moment for Azzurri.
Yeah, just that desperation there, wasn't it? It was great desperation from Sienna Fraser Kelly to win that ball.
Now it's over the top. Pickett. Bit too easy for New Lambton. A cut back. Tara Andrews looking to work the feet for a shot. And what a crucial block that is. And now Hunter hitting on the break for Azzurri, as they have done afternoon. Libby Copus-Brown presenting inside. Hunter might have to do it herself. It was the right idea to switch it out. And a crucial block. Tracking back in midfield from Franklin.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her cut it back onto that other foot, and she probably could have laid it into Copus-Brown a bit easier then.
Very tight battle. Early doors here. Only the one draw for New Lambton this season. And that did come against Charlestown and Azzurri at Order Park earlier in the season. Other from that, there are only two losses, as I said, have been against the ladder leaders, Maitland, and they've managed to win every other game, putting themselves in the position they are now. Trap it. Fraser Kelly holding up play well. Looking to connect with Franklin, just not on the same wavelength, but how's the tracking back again from Fraser Kelly. Unfortunately, Franklin's pass doesn't hit the mark, but I've been really impressed with Sienna Fraser Kelly across this season.
Yeah, she's done really well. She's come from, obviously came from Azzurri a couple of seasons where, you know, she was an integral part of their squad, but was probably used more off the bench for impact. But she's worked her way into this starting team, and she's doing really well. She works hard. She's got good intensity, and she's got great skills. She's a Australian futsal representative, I believe, which I only found out recently, and apparently her and Tara have played a bit of rep futsal together, so I think they've got a nice intuitive combination as well.
They do combine well. Talking about Tara Andrews, she's stolen in behind the defence. I'm not sure if she'll keep this one in though. Bit too much speed. Yeah, Fraser Kelly combining well with Andrews across the season. Now to boost, you got Lauren Allen on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and she could see, you know, Tara was heading for that ball then, wasn't she? She was on a bike, Lauren Allen.
Andrews looking for a side of goal. Charlestown have defended majoritively well in this one to start things off. There's Pickett looking to slip it through. Again, that final cohesion just lacking at the minute for New Lambton. Good to see a few families across the other side enjoying the benefits of bringing your car into Lycar Oval. It's something that I can only recall Macquarie Field still does it. There's not too many clubs, but it's a perfect afternoon for it indeed. Slight breeze, not troubling those coming out and attending.
A bit warmer over there as well than here in the grandstand, where it is a bit cold, but yeah, it's great. It's a beautiful afternoon for football.
Perrins slipping in behind. Hunter's stolen in, looking to win out the battle, and it was Salvador again who I said last week was so crucial in New Lambton's win, and Fraser Kelly thumps it out of play, but again Salvador, who was originally lined up to play right back, has come all the way across to prevent that. Incredible.
Great defending. And the ground's got a little bit of an awkward bounce to it as well. We've seen it a couple of times, and we saw it just then as well. I thought it was possibly going to fall favourably for Janali Hunter.
Free kick just over the halfway line for Charlestown. Looks like they'll send a few troops forward. Karen King fancying her chances at knocking this one in the box.
Yeah, I can keep an eye on Libby Cobus-Brown at the back there.
Well, those two seem to be looking for each other. Yeah, it's forced Cobus-Brown wide. Oh, it's a lovely back heel from Cobus-Brown. Sent across in the box. Eventually cleared by Pickett, but the danger is not averted. Hunter is in there as well. It's a scrap in the box.
And again, we saw that bounce then. It's not just popping up straight, it's kind of popping up at an angle all over the pitch.
Hunter on the turn. Out wide now. And a chance for a shot, which will go straight into the hands of Haynes. Again, I feel like there's been a lot of momentum swings early to start this one. New Lambton have had passages. Charlestown likewise.
Very even so far, for sure.
Who will get that breakthrough first? As here's Pickett. Switching it out to Allen, who will have to get on a bike here just to reel this one in. Being forced to retreat and go home to Quick, who sends it across. Gosling out wide. And plenty of space being afforded here. Space out on the left-hand side. Pickett cutting in. Rides the challenge of Gardner. Franklin on the edge of the box. Crunching challenge and a few afters following. Nothing given. Play continues. Andrews. And you could see her idea. Just trying to dink it over the top to Allen. And now, chance for Charlestown to hit on the break. Libby Copes-Brown turning on the afterburners. Interested to see how that left wing position suits her this afternoon. She has been busy early on.
Yeah, well, Libby's quick, but Molly Salvador will be one of the quickest out there. So it's going to be hard to get in behind her.
Will be a battle. Wouldn't be surprised if Copes-Brown drifts inside at times and maybe looks to switch the point of attack. As Gosling out wide. They've used both flanks early on here, New Lambton. Andrews' little flick, delightful. Allen, she snuck inside and just looking to dink it past the keeper. And I think the final touch come off Bartels there, so it's a crucial hand. And out for a corner.
It's a good save. Lauren Allen would probably like that one again. But I think, again, the ball just, it popped up probably more than she thought it was going to. Made it a little bit hard to control. Probably thought it was going to sit a bit flatter.
Lauren Allen coming across the tag. Cassidy Davis with a few words to Molly Salvador. Good to see her a part of the New Lambton coaching staff. Playing a hand in mentoring this side as it's not cleared. Copus-Brown eventually gets it out of the way. Lauren Allen tracking back. Looking to get it in the box. Allen crunching tackle. Franklin all the way back to Salvador. Tara Andrews the target. This one's not going to be the first challenge in Tara King. And now Azzurri can work there. Magic going forward.
They're defending well, aren't they? That was a great block by Chloe Martin. Well read.
Copus-Brown keeping this ball in play. Has a few options in behind, one of them being Martin. Martin up against Gosling, and it's cleared by the experienced Amy Gosling. And again, despite sustained pressure by New Lambton, it's Azzurri now with the ball deep into attacking half.
Well, that was nice, just Chloe Martin making that run forward, doing a bit of the overload. We haven't seen that from her this game yet, so a bit more of that. A beautiful ball from Libby Copus-Brown, put her in space there, didn't she?
Certainly did. Sciascio, who arrives at Azzurri this season following her stint with the Bulls Academy. Now it's Pickett. Plenty of space opening up. This right-hand side will beat Franklin. And here is the overlapping run. Salvador with Allen to her right. Molly Salvador to Allen. Lauren Allen's delivery. It's not a bad one. And it was almost a shot rather than a cross. And it forced Bartels into action. And out for another New Lambton corner. And it'll be Franklin this time to go across and take. Away from home this season, they've scored 29 goals, New Lambton. You can say 10 of those was in the round one fixture. On the hunt for more, and it doesn't beat the first defender again. Right, strong defending to start this one from Charlestown. Franklin throwing it back into play, and Salvador just couldn't get under control. And again, Azzurri survived the pressure. Button now driving into space. Garner presenting and beyond. Discusio. Looking for Hunter, picked off. Montana quick. Infield to Franklin, who has a fair bit of space to assess her options. Salvador on the charge down the right. Love seeing a fullback who gets on forward, and I think Molly Salvador is a perfect example of that.
She's clocking up the case today, that's for sure. Harry, she's everywhere.
Back into play now through Lauren Allen. Montana quick. Infield. Again, Charlestown picking up their play as well to start this one. A bit isolated when going forward. Here's a chance for them. Chloe Martin now. To Copus Brown, who's forced under pressure from Salvador. As he mentioned, Renee, a great battle this down our left-hand side, but there's so many battles to keep an eye on.
Great ball, but well picked off, wasn't it, from Brianna Trappett.
Trappett to Pickett, and Fraser Kelly getting that passing and cohesion just has been a bit off for both sides to start this one. Franklin. Allen over the top. It's a lovely ball from Franklin. Allen's time to run well, and a bit too much force behind that one sees it go over the crossbar, but again, Sana Franklin recognising the run, and that's twice now Allen's been through on goal.
It's a great ball over the top. Lauren Allen had plenty of time on that one, but obviously Bartels was coming out at her, but yeah, just overcooked it a little bit, didn't she? But it set up perfectly for her.
We presume she'll get more chances as this game goes on, Lauren Allen, especially with that pacing behind. Already 3 goals to her name since returning to the competition. She returned in round 10 for their clash with Adamstown. It's now a lovely threaded pass. Sienna Fraser Kelly, though. Discasio's been up to the challenge all afternoon and wins a free kick, and strong defending.
She shielded that really well, didn't she? That's for sure. But yeah, there was that little combination again between Tara Andrews and Sienna Fraser Kelly.
It's proved dangerous across the season, that's for sure. Sienna Fraser Kelly firmly cementing a spot in this New Lambton starting side. Certainly plenty of options on the bench for both sides this afternoon, although New Lambton down on troops a little bit. Only the 3 outfield players from what I am aware. Certainly might be a case of the game opening up in this second 45 just that little bit more. It'll be interesting to see if either team gets a chance before half-time. As Pickett works the feet well. This one played to the edge of the box, which Allen will get under control. And there's the overlapping run again. Salvador in behind, chased by Libby Copus Brown. She cuts inside. the current Newcastle Jet. And now Allen lining up for a shot. It's got a bit of height about it. And just sails over the crossbar. Wasn't sure whether that one was going to be intended for the head of Tara Andrews. Nonetheless, Allen, she certainly had her chances here this afternoon.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful pass into the path of Molly Salvador. Again, we see how lethal Salvador is. Beautiful little, cut inside Libby Copus Brown, which wouldn't be easy to do.
Copus Brown being made to do her defensive duties and doing them well she is so far, although I'm sure Molly Salvador will continue to attack going forward. Martin slips it forward. Perrins with the header. Now Chloe Martin with Copus Brown in behind if she can find her. Unfortunately picked off.
Yeah, just not enough on it. Right idea. Copus Brown was there, probably in a bit of space, but just not quite enough on it with the left foot.
Lauren Allen pinching back possession well. Tara Andrews sensing the danger in behind. And those two on the same wavelength, but not on that occasion. Salvador picking it off. Infield to Fraser Kelly, and Franklin gave up on the chase and decides to go at it again up against Taryn King, who I think is allowing Franklin to win it, but she'll be trapped in the corner, and it's well done by the experienced defender. Only at the cost of another New Lambton throw. And Andrews is deeply positioned in the 18-yard box, so they'll have to find other teammates, although Andrews slowly making a dart towards the ball. Headed away, Copus Brown now under pressure. Works the feet well, and Azzurri play out of that nicely. Now it's Hunter, keeping the ball in well. Infield to Copus Brown, he's popped up everywhere to start this one, and how's that for a pass? Opening up the field delightfully. Discasio now. Her touch a bit heavy. And unfortunately, just comes to an end.
That's where they've looked dangerous a couple of times, haven't they? When they've transitioned it quickly, there's a lot of space on that other side of the field for Azzurri. They're getting stuck a little bit on this side. There's probably been times where it's been played into Janali Hunter, and she's looking for support, but probably if she can turn and lay into those channels, there's a lot of space out there. That's where we, saw Riley Gardner almost score early on.
I'd like to see Azzurri get the ball to Copus Brown a little bit more, because especially with the runs that Salvador makes, it's sort of similar at both ends, isn't it? When Trappett goes forward, it opens up the space if Azzurri can pinch it back. So there's certainly that scope to hit on the break, which Azzurri have done so far in this one. Lawson now, poking it down the line. Franklin keeping it in and hitting Libby Copus Brown. Salvador up against Martin. Azzurri have been up to the task defensively, but Salvador again winning back possession well. Salvador retreats. Franklin with pressure coming from behind and being forced into what I'd say was probably a rushed shot there.
Yeah, like Janali Hunter was obviously coming on Sana Franklin really quick there, She might have been able to, firing that one off, had Molly Salvador coming in behind her, maybe recycle it a little bit there, would have given them a bit more joy.
Fraser Kelly applying the pressure, cleared by Bartels. Trappett brings it to control. And lovely footwork to ride the challenge of Gardner. Salvador again getting in beyond. And they've used her a lot down this right-hand side in the first half, have the Golden Eagles. Allen, Salvador, and I think Lauren Allen gave up on the chase, or maybe Salvador was being a bit too ambitious there.
Yeah, they are linking up well. That instance, probably Molly Salvador did expect Lauren Allen to keep running into that channel there. But it's promising signs.
It is. New Lambton closing in on half-time and are certainly having majority of the ball. Azzurri with one of the game's best chances. Hitting the crossbar. Lauren Allen snuck in behind a couple of times and had a few chances of her own.
that pressure on the ball, watching Ali Hunter just did there and Amy Gosling, that's probably where they're going to get a bit of joy as well, and here, they probably don't want to be turning it over in the middle of the park because we can see how quickly New Lambton attack.
Will this be a costly giveaway again? Taryn King, the rock at the back for Charlestown, has been so strong. A little bit of an air swing there from Copus Brown. Now Montana Quick. Looking for Allen, who's onside again. She's snuck in behind the defence. And again, can't combine that final pass. Now Azzurri's chance to hit forward. Gardner picking it up. Hunter's running in behind. Salvador having the track. It's a bit isolated up top. Gardner going for goals. And Gosling gets a touch and forces Janali Haynes to come out and claim.
A little bit more support, probably, Azzurri, if they can get a bit more support when they're going forward. They obviously had quite a lot of defenders back there. New Lambton was going to be hard to get through. Riley Gardner's ended up having a long-range shot, which, be better if you've got players running into those spaces out wide.
They've looked dangerous when they've broken forward, but I agree. I think it's probably only the 2 or 3 of them up top at times that are looking to cause the trouble. Maybe just sensing a few more plays to get on forward. Trap it. Out to Lauren Allen now. This is where Charlestown will have to be on their best defensively. Allen striding forward. Salvador with the overlapping run. Allen's looking the other direction. Andrews. Out to Fraser Kelly. Again, you can hear the shout from the New Lambton bench. Wanting it to go wide to Caitlin Pickett. Andrews leaves it for Allen. Allen driving forward and taking a shot into the hands of Bartels, who has stood up on a couple of occasions. That one more of a routine save.
Yeah, just not enough on it. Lauren Allen there, was it? But she certainly had a chance as this half, Harry. And again, we just talked about Azzurri probably benefit from having a few more numbers when they are transitioning and they are going forward. New Lambton have no shortage. Every time they attack, they've got 4 or 5 at least up there. Lots of options.
That's been the key piece so far. Libby Copus Brown switching flanks in the meantime with Riley Gardner, who will come out onto the wing. So players collide. Here's Caitlin Pickett sensing an opportunity back to the back post, and the offside flag stays down, although it is raised, much to the disappointment of Tara Andrews, who I'm not sure is aware. I'm still stuck in 2 minds as to whether this one counts or not. The offside flag seemed to be raised. And the final decision, I believe, is goal. So Tara Andrews, I'm still confused whether this is a goal. Bartels is shaping up as if it's a goal kick. And looks like play resumes. So Taryn King's lofted it forward.
I think the goal stood. I think the referee scored a goal. I think that might have just been a little bit cheeky of Danielle Bartels there, just to, no, I'm just going to start playing and see what happens here. Look, I'd like to see a replay of it, Harry. Tara got in behind there, and executed as she does.
Well, still had plenty of work to do, did Tara Andrews. Brings up the 22nd of the season despite some confusion. It is New Lambton 1, Charlestown Azzurri 0. And there's a contingent of Azzurri players arguing the decision. Will something be dished out to Bartels for taking that kick early? Apologies to all at home. I was a bit confused there what the final decision actually was.
I just thought, yep, she's been cheeky here.
So the goal stands, and on the cusp of half-time, Tara Andrews brings up yet another. And you could hear the shouts for New Lambton to play it out wide to Pickett. And then once she was able to free the feet for a cross, Tara Andrews sliding in the bottom corner. And after a bit of a delay, it is New Lambton Eagles 1, Charlestown Azzurri 0.
Like I said, Harry, we might have to go back and have a little look at the replay at half-time to make up our own mind there.
I'm sure New Lambton won't mind finding themselves ahead, and that strong record of goals away from home continues. Will they get a boost from here? Franklin slipping it forward. Allen waiting for teammates to arrive in the box. Allen looking to free the feet for a cross. She's using the byline, going this way and that, and swinging it in. A few players colliding, and Fraser Kelly on the follow-up. Or was that goal the one that sparks this game to start to open up that little bit more? It certainly seems the case. And New Lambton closing in on the second, just not to be there. It is another trademark Tara Andrews goal. Such a delight to watch in this competition. And heading into last week's contest, she scored over half of their goals. Dropped down a little bit with the hat-trick to Caitlin Pickett. Certainly a key player for the Golden Eagles. Here she is again, a lovely, delightful touch. Trappets in behind and finds the post. Still alive. I don't know if referees are aware that the offside flag was raised. So we'll continue play, but again, another great build-up play by Tara Andrews and Trappett.
And again, very quickly. And another combination. I think that's the difference at the moment. We're seeing lots of different combinations with New Lambton. They're all working very seamlessly. They're all working really well. We haven't seen too much of that with Azzurri yet. They've had that great chance through Riley Gardner, but we haven't seen a lot of continued consistency with players combining like we're seeing, or you know, lots of different combinations like we're seeing with New Lambton.
Passages of play have just been hard come by for Azzurri so far. Certainly had a side of goal a couple of times early into this first half. And don't get me wrong, 1-0 is the scoreline that is certainly comebackable. As Allen now getting to the byline. Andrews at the front stick. Fraser Kelly presenting centrally. And there's number 2 for New Lambton. Again coming down the right-hand side. And Sienna Fraser Kelly adds another to her goal tally. On the cusp of half-time, it's New Lambton 2, Charlestown Azzurri 0.
Well, that's textbook, isn't it? You know, you get your winger down to the byline, cuts it in. You've got someone running through, you know. Teams go through this at training all the time. It's great to see when it's executed. You need to have those runners making those runs like Sienna Fraser Kelly did it perfectly just then.
Well, Bartell's got a little bit of a touch on it. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it out of the goal. And Azzurri, who heading into this one, so much positivity around the camp, are just finding things a little bit difficult. We know 2-0's a very dangerous scoreline in football. And Libby Curtis-Brown straight from the kickoff, trying to spark an attack before the break.
I just feel like we see it so often as well. You know, it's been a real arm wrestle. New Lambton have probably had a bit more of the possession, a bit more of the attack, but Azzurri's had their chances. But once that one goal goes in, like so often we'll see another one scored quite quickly in this competition.
Certainly has been the case, especially for those teams like the Maitlands and the New Lambtons we're seeing here that can just get on the roll when teams try and break them down. And it's just a matter of getting that first one, essentially, as Montana Quick now urging Pickett to go and chase this one up against Scarcio, who nearly cleans up the family over on the far side, soaking up the sunshine. Andrews now, lovely spin to ride the challenge of Button, has Allen at the back stick. Andrews, a last touch a little bit too heavy, gets to the byline and puts a cross in. And New Lambton, who are just hitting their straps before half-time, have another corner here.
Yeah, I think, you know, Azzurri, they were quite upset without being over the top. You know, they didn't agree with the decision. You know, that can get in your head a little bit. You know, they've probably just got to hold out here, get to half-time, reset. There's plenty of time left in this game.
Certainly is. Alicia Ferguson, interesting to see what her half-time team talk will be, but just going forward, they haven't had enough quality to really trouble New Lambton, who, again, have been excellent in the defence this season.
Well, I think what we're seeing with New Lambton as well is they've got numbers getting forward, but they've also got numbers getting back.
Gemma Lawson under pressure from Copus Brown as Chelsea look for a strong finish to this half. Salvador again, who's been a standout player, combining with Andrews. Salvador finding options hard to come by. And picked off. And now forced into the corner. Salvador winning the initial challenge up against Taryn King. Salvador not backing down from Libby Copus Brown and Taryn King. Probably had the better of those two as Andrews on the spin. The bounce again doesn't favour her.
It's a weird bounce, isn't it, Harry? That's a few times we've seen that.
Just didn't play into the hands there of Andrews, who's a little bit frustrated, but a cross is coming her way now. A bit deeper now. First touch from Piggott. And eventually cleared by Chloe Martin. Again, isolated is Hunter up top. Loses out in the header. Gosling can go all the way back to Haynes. Gemma Lawson, previously Broadmeadow Magic on the ball, now combining well with Gosling. And that is all we have in store for the first half. And it took time for the goals to come. But it is New Lambton leading at the break. Santa Fraser Kelly getting the second. Tara Andrews with a controversial first goal. But Renee, Charlestown, we've spoke about them heading into this one. We knew this would be a tight battle. What do they have to do in this second half to take it to New Lambton?
Well, I think for the most part they've been defending well. Obviously, you know, New Lambton have thrown plenty at them and asked a lot of questions. And for the most part, they've answered them. I mean, they've got caught out in those two goals. We're not sure about the first one. We'd have to see that one again. But I just think going forward, they probably need a bit more support. They've looked dangerous when they've transitioned very quickly. You know, move the ball across the field, you know, switch the play. That's where they've looked really dangerous. They probably just need to do a little bit more of that. And when that's happening, a bit more support for the players going forward.
We'll take a short break here on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel. But at the break, it's New Lambton 2 leading Charlestown Azzurri 0.
Anyone can sell you a car, but at Cardiff Motor Group, you'll experience the car difference. We're a team driven by passion for excellence in both our service and our range of new and pre-owned vehicles. We listen to what you need and work within your budget to get you behind the wheel of a car you love. Call into our showroom or take a look online and experience the car difference with Cardiff Motor Group.
team at Cardiff Volkswagen and view the fantastic range of new and demonstrated vehicles, with all-weather on-site undercover parking available 7 days a week. View the award-winning Amarok range, Caddy, Transporter, Crafter and all-new electric ID Buzz. You'll be sure to find a great deal on your next vehicle. Experience the car difference with instant on-site finance quotes, genuine parts and accessories, factory-trained workshop technicians and locals supporting locals with service with a smile. All in one place. Call into our showroom for a coffee and a chat or take a look online. Cardiff Volkswagen, 2 Sturt Road, Cardiff, part of the Cardiff Motor Group.
Anyone can sell you a car, but at Cardiff Motor Group, you'll experience the car difference. We're a team driven by passion for excellence in both our service and our range of new and pre-owned vehicles. We listen to what you need and work within your budget to get you behind the wheel of a car you love. Call into our showroom or take a look online and experience the car difference with Cardiff Motor Group.
Cardiff Volkswagen and view the fantastic range of new and demonstrator vehicles with all-weather on-site undercover parking available 7 days a week. View the award-winning Amarok range, Caddy, Transporter, Crafter and all-new electric ID Buzz. You'll be sure to find a great deal on your next vehicle. Experience the car difference with instant on-site finance quotes, genuine parts and accessories, factory-trained workshop technicians and locals supporting locals with service with a smile. All in one place. Call into our showroom for a coffee and a chat or take a look online. Cardiff Volkswagen, 2 Sturt Road, Cardiff, part of the Cardiff Motor Group.
A clinical finish. But yeah, they're out there. I'm sure, you know, there's going to be plenty of intensity in this second half. They haven't looked bad. Azzurri, they've had their chances. They just need a few more of them, and they need a bit more support when they are going forward. They haven't had a lot of numbers going forward, and they need to probably be a bit quicker on the transition.
A lot of New Lambton's qualities have come in the wide areas, and you've got Tara Andrews presenting centrally, so it sometimes can cause a headache. So as New Lambton make their way back on the field now, looks like there is one change for Azzurri. Aoife Redmond seems to be heading on the field. Once we get confirmation of who has departed, we will be sure to inform you. But as far as New Lambton goes, making their way back on the field, looking to continue that pressure on the ladder leaders in the Maitland Magpies, who have the bye this weekend, and that's probably a good chance to go through this weekend's fixtures. Last night, Adamstown 3 goals to nil over Broadmeadow Magic. Fixture this afternoon before a crucial clash tomorrow at Macquarie Field. Lake Macquarie playing host to Newcastle Olympic. Olympic conceding too many goals than they would have liked in recent times. A chance for them to pick up a huge win tomorrow afternoon. But all eyes back on here.
Looks like Janali Hunter has been shifted back there. Isabel Budden might be the one who's come off. I can't see her out there. So, you know, they're just looking to shore up that defence a little bit there. I'd be interested. I was just thinking, I wonder what they're going to do. You know, there was a lot of attack through that right side, that right flank for New Lambton. It was hard to know who's going forward. You got Molly Salvador, you got Lauren Allen. You know, they're both coming relentlessly. So interested to see how they try to close that side down.
Big second half awaits here at Lyle Carr Oval. And New Lambton, 2 goals for the good, but Azzurri certainly not out of the contest as we speak.
And 2 changes.
2 changes, it seems, for Azzurri, as we picked up. Might be Riley Gardner that's also made way. So Alicia Ferguson sensing how crucial, I guess, this game is to their season, and making some reinforcements at the break.
Yeah, maybe just like we said, trying to shore up the defence a little bit. Maybe, trying to spark that attack as well. Like we said, they've got it forward. They just haven't always had the numbers there or that support when they are going forward.
So Hunter will partner Taryn King in the heart of defence, while it looks like they're going to inject more speed up top and also push Libby Copus-Brown more centrally as well. So the Aoife Redmond to come onto the right-hand side, and you can hear already the intensity that Azzurri are bringing. And Andrews with the flick on. Trying to keep it in play, can't do so. Copus-Brown, first touch. Redmond with the first touch since coming onto the field. Lila Carstairs was the other replacement for Charlestown. So 2 attacking reinforcements to come on the field. Only the 2 that we've been informed of. Now Montana Quick sensing Andrews in behind. Tara King nearly lost sight of the ball. Doing well to hold on and keep out Tara Andrews, and it's been quite a battle between those 2 in that first half. Was now lofted forward.
I think Ellie Jones has probably come off there. We just realised, sorry, listeners, Ellie Jones is off and Riley Gardner is still on. She just shifted across to the other side, to the left.
So Jones and Button, if I'm correct, the 2 changes for Azzurri, as they're going to have to strengthen things defensively. Here's Allen riding the challenge of Hunter, sliding in not once but twice.
I think we've got, we'll see, seeing Libby Copus-Brown a bit more central as well.
Maybe inject her more central and have runners in behind. Redmond up against Trappett will be a good battle in this second half. Charlestown really have to be wary of that third. If their goal goes in, then it becomes a completely different contest. As Andrews' first touch, centre forward, and New Lambton will have the first set piece of the second half.
Yeah, I think like we said, Libby Copus-Brown did do well in that position on the left, but it's probably not a natural position for her. She does play centrally. She's more of a box-to-box midfielder or that attacking midfielder, and I think, that could be what they're missing. That person, she can lay it off, she can turn and shoot.
Certainly has the vision to do so. There's Allen taking the corner. It will spill to Trappett. Sends it back to Allen, who is onside for now. Lauren Allen delivering in a dangerous position. And it falls. A chance here for Quick. Selfishly laying it off to Fraser Kelly, who tries the back heel. And now, calm as you like from Copus-Brown, and Charlestown can bomb numbers forward. Carstairs trying to get on the end of it. Picked off by Gemma Lawson. And I think a lot of credit has to go to that New Lambton defence in the first half. We've got young Gemma Lawson and then the experience of Amy Gosling. Like you said, so much quality on the park today, Renee.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams. And yeah, we did see those goals in quick succession, but it's been a real arm wrestle, and there's a lot of talent out there.
Salvador looking to get across the way. Holds up play for Allen. Back to Salvador. Andrews' little flick just tries to glide through a couple of Azzurri defenders. Now Copus-Brown can break. Up against Fraser Kelly, who does well to win it back. Trappett. It's a lovely ball through, and had the run of Andrews in behind. Just couldn't find a teammate. Again, Tara Andrews still providing that threat in behind. Perrins to Gardner, who's playing on the left-hand side in the second half. Hunter over the top. Certainly the right idea. Try to find Chloe Martin, who's making her overlapping runs. Where will the breakthrough come for Charlestown is the question. Allen. Goes infield. Pass picked off. Carstairs now is isolated up top, but she can turn on the afterburners. And again, it's been the case of the afternoon, Renee, when a player's lost the ball, they've certainly done their duties in defence.
Yeah, they have. And then we just saw again then as well, though. She didn't have a lot of options. You know, Azzurri getting that ball up there, but they need players coming in, running off them. A few options.
Pickett presenting in behind. And Trappett deciding to hold up play. Trappett on the turn. Just a little bit too easy there from Caitlin Pickett just to glide through a few defenders. Now it's Azzurri's chance to hit on the break. Carstairs out-muscled by Lawson.
And they have looked good then as well. You know, we saw Chloe Martin make some runs forward in the first half. We just saw Janali Hunter step into midfield, just overload that midfield a little bit. I think that's where they're going to, you know, get a few more numbers and going to get a bit more joy in attack, Azzurri.
Copus Brown. How good would a goal early on into this half be for Alicia Ferguson's side? They get one and it suddenly becomes quite an intriguing contest as Taryn King to Discasio. Pickett keeping it in and the shout for out, and Charlestown will win the throw in. Just over the halfway line. Over the top again, picked off. Charlestown trying to stick passes together. And the connecting well. Scousio back to Taryn King, who retreats through Janali Hunter, who certainly doesn't look out of place in that centre-back position. A few runners over the top, Chloe Martin being one of them. Hunter gives it centrally. Copus Brown being forced under pressure. They've done a good job, New Lambton, of containing Libby Copus Brown. Perrins. Chloe Martin found herself advanced, and a shot coming through, and it's a crucial block by Brianna Trappett, still alive. Gardner unleashing from range. Probably a bit too ambitious, but it's good passage from Azzurri.
Very opportunistic, but that was looking a lot better for Azzurri. They linked up well. There was just some sound defence there from New Lambton, wasn't there?
We mentioned it off air, Renee, the fact that Azzurri have only scored 11 goals this season. Despite the fact they have turned a corner in recent weeks, it still seems a bit of a trouble just to find that execution in behind. We know they have the quality, especially in that midfield, but it's quite a young attack, isn't it? And they don't have that sort of go-to player up front as say a New Lambton has. Yeah,
well, I guess they'll be hoping, you know, Libby Copus Brown, although she's playing more in the midfield, but, you know, she could provide a few goals. She can score them in this league. We've seen her score a lot of goals in this league. Most of those teams traditionally in that top four of this competition have a Tara Andrews, or you know, have a Gemma House, or you know, a Riley Dobson previously. You know, a lot of them are conceding goals. Like New Lambton, I think have conceded 27, which is quite high, but they've scored 46 now, I think. So, you know, I think Azzurri have only scored conceded 34, but they've only scored 11 goals. So it is that, you know, where are your goals going to come from?
As Fraser Kelly darting in behind, goes to ground, following some late challenge, and still not cleared. Lauren Allen picking up the scraps. Lauren Allen going for goal. And just wide of the post as New Lambton closed in on a third. Again, another promising attack. And you're right. This competition, it's just so crazy, isn't it? Especially on its day, anyone can beat anyone, but there's some certainly crazy statistics going around, and I think Charlestown have been hard done by at times where they've not come away with results, especially in the last few weeks. Still on the line here in round 15 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales. Great to have Cardiff Motor Group coming on board as a mistake invites Azzurri forward. Just feels like they're waiting for a game-changing moment, maybe someone pulling off a a tackle or a burst forward or a close chance on goal for them to really spark into this contest. That'll help their cause. As in behind, being forced into the corner is Redmond, who's lost out there to Gosling. Now trapping in field, picked off again. Crunching challenges flying in. Copus Brown now picking up the scratch. He doesn't have too many options. And a lovely dummy on Fraser Kelly. Copus Brown doing well, but being forced back to Taryn King, who squares it centrally. Perrins out wide. Copus Brown finding herself with limited options. Uses Janali Hunter, who decides to retreat back to the creative midfield. That is Libby Copus Brown. Now, if you like this play well, Azzurri Gardner. Is there a final product to come? It slipped forward, and Carstairs was the target. They were quite patient in that approach, just no final product to show.
Yeah, well, I think that ball in behind, it was just a little bit overcooked, but, you know, they're threatening, and that was another good passage of play. Redmond's probably given up a bit too early down here, you know. She's got a very experienced defender on her. Amy Gosling thought the ball was going to go out, and it held up because his pitch is, you know, it's one of the heavier pitches. So, you know, you've got to just keep playing, don't you?
Certainly do. Allen breaking forward down the right for a New Lambton throw-in. Charlestown, 2 clean sheets in their last 2 games. How's that? Little flick around the corner from Fraser Kelly. Unable to find Tara Andrews. Lawson picking it up. Almost thought she was going to go for goal. Offside flag stays down against Lauren Allen, and Chloe Martin is able to clear the danger. Charlestown this season, 2 wins to their name, and both of those coming against Lake Macquarie. They've made a habit of keeping clean sheets against Lake Macquarie. Just struggling to match it with other teams.
I spoke to Alicia Ferguson after the 2 games last week. You know, it was a big week. I think they'd had a couple of weeks off, and then, you know, a game on the synthetic midweek, good win, and then, you know, a real battle with Broadmeadow on the weekend. And we talked about, you know, the results put them back in in that position for a finals berth. And Alicia kind of said, you know, yeah, that'd be great. The big picture, though, is, you know, from where they were at the start of the season, they didn't know if they were going to be able to get a team. You know, they weren't able to field a reserve grade team. The big picture is, you know, building towards next year. You know, she wants to be back in the grand final next year. She wants to be one of the top contenders. So it's that slow build. The signs are definitely good if they can keep this majority of this squad together, and they've got a lot of young talent in there. They've brought in a bit of experience. If they can just, you know, get that reserve grade back, bit of depth.
Certainly helps, doesn't it? Adamstown last night had 5 of their 6 bench players having played the reserve grade game beforehand, so comes with some pros and cons. Obviously, plenty of opportunity for those reserve grade players to then make the step into first grade, as we've seen clubs like Adamstown, Broadmeadow do. Although it's probably fair to say a lot of the clubs are starting to rely on some of the youth coming through the reserve grade. Here's Franklin.
Cheeky from Copus Brown then. I was just going to say, Harry, we did get to the bottom of the controversial first goal during halftime as well, didn't we?
That's it. We got the inside scoop as to Tara Andrews' first goal, which got the goals going for New Lambton. There's another substitute for Azzurri. This time Riley Gardner, who we thought made way at half-time, will now leave the field and invites Laura Ng to come on the field. I hope I've pronounced that right. It's a tricky one. So again, more pace injected for Charlestown.
Yeah, we'll say in that first goal there was a bit of confusion over the linesman had indicated it was going to be a goal kick when the goal was scored, but I think everyone was a bit confused that maybe it was an offside call, but it was all kind of goal stood. And, yeah, I think everyone got it cleared up at halftime.
Charlestown probably could have defended that goal a little bit better. Tara Andrews, though, clinical as ever in the box. You mentioned their tight schedules and tight turnarounds. Renee, it was announced this week where the venues for the grand finals will be played. We're back to Darling Street Oval, which I think is probably a fair decision with their facilities. And I think the new facilities at Western also will be showing. There's a chance for Copus Brown, nearly snuck in behind. Getting back to it, the Hit 106.9 reserve grade final and the promotion relegation will be at Hunter City Motor Group Stadium. The men's and women's grand finals at Darling Street, and then the State Cup final at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. So much football to come from now to the end of the year.
Yeah, well, it's a long season, but you know, we're getting to the business end now. There's a lot of football. Obviously, you know, Western and Maitland are still involved in the men in the Australia Cup, which is exciting. The Women's State Cup's coming up in a few weekends' time, but you know, we're heading towards finals. It's not that far off. It's crunch time for a lot of teams.
Certainly is. State Cup again will be a good chance for teams to show their quality. Salvador now bursting down the right, getting to the byline. Can't salvage a right foot across, so has to retreat to Allen, who sends it across. Andrews don't want to give her too much space here. Franklin. They've worked this well, New Lambton. Trafford sends it in, can't beat Hunter, who clears.
Well, she's so good at laying that, being that target player, isn't she? You know, she can turn and shoot from there or just laying it back to someone else who's free, as she did, Tara Andrews.
Carstairs now being sent forward. Doesn't have too many options in support, as has been the case for Azzurri. She ends up sending one in ambitiously, and Trappett doesn't only avert the danger, brings it to control comfortably. And again, Charlestown a bit slow to get bodies behind the ball. Lauren Allen, as Josie Fisher is being prepared by Craig Atkins to come on the field. We'll return the play because Lauren Allen bursting down, delivering it to the back stick, and Pickett can't get on the end of it. Now Chloe Martin bursting forward, sending it down the line, and Descarcio, who's playing a little bit higher in this second half, just couldn't reel it in, and that might give a chance. Maybe the next stoppage in play for New Lambton to head to their bench. Sarah Pires knocking it forward now. First header won by Gosling. Franklin battling hard in the midfield. Up against Redmond.
It was good use of the body, wasn't it? In the middle of the park to win the ball back there by Zara Franklin.
She's certainly been very influential to New Lambton this season. Probably plays a tricky role there in the midfield. And doing her job oh so well as Pickett can't get under control. Charlestown well and truly knowing they're still in this contest. It's been a slow start to this second half, Renee, but certainly when moments happen in the game, it can start to open up just that little bit more.
Yeah, they've had a couple of chances. We've seen some good passages of play. They just need to be a bit better when they do get the ball. You know, we saw before Redmond was, you know, attacking on that left side. You could see Descarcio coming down here on the right. She put in the delivery, just wasn't quite far enough, but you know, it's almost there.
Here's Libby Copus-Brown. Charlestown looking to set up what would be an intriguing final 20 minutes or so here. As Fraser Kelly nudges Martin, nothing given by the ref. And now set back forward to Allen, who's seen plenty of the ball on the right-hand side. Has to go centrally. And now Andrews makes a run in behind. That movement off the shoulder. I can't find her though. Ball still kept in play, and the last touch was off Redmond, who switched sides momentarily, just trying to look up some new avenues for Charlestown. Hunter thumping it forward. Carstairs with the initial touch, a bit of late contact from Lawson. And this one just dying down a little bit, the momentum being sucked out of the game just that little bit. You'd sense as the game ticks on, it'll be Azzurri being the more desperate of the two sides, but have to be wary of New Lambton going forward. Andrews leaving it for Fraser Kelly, who gets the last touch in and around Taryn King. Fraser Kelly going for goal, and well off target in the end.
And she wasn't happy with it. You can tell by her reaction there as well. You know, she was disappointed. She had a good opportunity for a shot there, but just glanced it wide, didn't she?
Just wide of the post. Just couldn't get the contact behind it. She did have Pickett at the back stick and decided to go for goals herself. New Lambton won't mind. They're in quite a comfortable position.
Yeah, and I'd say Craig Atkins, like you suggested before, will be going to his bench soon. Hasn't made any subs yet, so, you know, some fresh legs might be that little injection.
King puts it out of play. And won't be surprised if we do see the substitute occur. And it will now. Josie Fisher making way onto the field. Played a huge role in the early part of the season for New Lambton. Has found herself in and out of the squad ever since. She replaces Brianna Trappett, who got injured late into the contest last week at Darling Street Oval. Was fit enough to play this afternoon, but Josie Fisher slotting into that left back role. As Pickett getting to the byline, doing so well. Allen's first touch can get under control, and Franklin going for goals. And again, New Lambton probably with the better of the ball in the last 5 minutes. Charlestown needing to get a move on. Bartel's a little bit too rushed on that occasion. Franklin dispossessed. That's good energy there from Perrin, slipping it through. The offside flag stays down. Carstairs, she's through on goal. Has options in the box in Copus Brown. But I think credit must be given there. Amy Gosling and then Molly Salvador on the follow-up to nearly keep it in. Eventually out of play.
Yeah, that's good defending. That's experienced defending from Amy Gosling. Do what she had to do there.
Little moments like that, can they spur Azzurri on to salvage something from this game? Chloe Martin under pressure from Salvador, who's nearly won every drill that she's competed in here this afternoon. Viginali Hunter sending it forward. Copus Brown. And falling to Redmond, who goes for goal. And Pickett can finally get things out of the way. Andrews holding up play nicely. Back to Josie Fisher, who has her first touch since coming on the field. Now Pickett infield, plenty of space here for Montana Quick, who decides to go back rather than forward. Lawson to Allen. Infield to Salvador. They've worked this nicely. Have New Lambton, but again, Hunter coming across to see out the danger, which Lauren Allen was trying to get in behind.
Yeah, they've had a lethal combination out there on the right today, haven't they? Molly Salvador and Lauren Allen. They've been a handful.
As is always the case, this New Lambton side certainly showing signs of improvement this season. And so much football still to be played, but firmly got their sights on still chasing down Maitland, but also securing that second spot. There's now the throw-in goes short to Salvador, whose touch can't find Lauren Allen in return. It gives us another chance to head to the bench. Changes coming thick and fast. This time Craig Atkins again realising some energy in the midfield's required. Zana Franklin to leave the field. And it'll be Naya Bradley to take her place. So some fresh legs, and Zana Franklin, who's put in yet another huge shift.
Yeah, she's had a great game. Like you said, it's a tricky position in the midfield. You've kind of got to be everywhere, but she's had a great game today.
Scarsio's gone to ground, so we'll find out what's occurred. And it gives Charlestown, you can see immediately since that injury, coming together. Taryn King, the one leading with the words of advice and that experience, so crucial for Azzurri. The Lambton players scattered across the field, just catching their breath. It hasn't been end-to-end as probably we would have liked from a commentator perspective, but New Lambton certainly doing the business. So let's run you through those grand final dates, shall we? As announced on Friday afternoon by Northern New South Wales. So it'll be Saturday the 12th of September where the women's reserve grade will kick off at 11 before first grade at 2, and then the following day on the Sunday. So back-to-back football days at Darling Street Oval, and it's one of those times of the year we mark it on the calendar. It's always great, the grand final series, and especially at Darling Street Oval. We were treated to some nice weather last year for the final series. No weather hiccups, which is always nice.
Yeah, it was a huge weekend, and then I think after that or before that, you've got the relegation promotion final series as well in the men's competition, which obviously adds another level of excitement to the competition.
Probably one of the more enjoyable times for football fans here in Newcastle, as it looks like the first card will be dished out for that challenge on Redmond. So Salvador, I believe, goes into the book. And a chance for Hunters to send this one forward. We know she's got the boot to put it in the mix. And those players behind the ball for New Lambton as well. Hunter doesn't get the connection she would have liked. Sarah Perez. Not on the same wavelength there with Redmond, and now Salvador can charge forward. Tara Andrews trying to time her run in behind. Lauren Allen in support as well. And it's a crucial interception from Hunter, who now streams forward down the left. Hunter cutting inside. Again, Salvador giving away the pass, but then tracking back and doing so well. This will fall to Copus Brown. Beach, Josie Fisher at the back stick. Now Discasio getting to the byline. Across the face of goal. Cleared by Gosling. Still alive for Carstairs. Flying into the challenge is Discasio. And Pickett is able to ride the challenge and keep it out for New Lambton. And that's quality from New Lambton. That's why they have a clean sheet as it stands.
It's better from Azzurri. That's probably one of their better passages of attacking pressure. But again, like we said, New Lambton, they're attacking in numbers and they're defending in numbers. You know, Caitlin Pickett getting all the way back. She's had a huge game today as well in terms of work rate.
Certainly has. They're doing their job all over the park, the Golden Eagles. Here's Sienna Fraser-Kelly going to ground. Following the contact from Perez. No yellow card given by the referee. And shall New Lambton hold on to this lead. It'll be their third clean sheet of the season. As it starts to get that little bit cooler here at Lyle Car Oval. Myself, Harry Scobie and Renee Valentine bringing you all the action. We started the season here. We were treated to 10 goals. Unfortunately, it wasn't a 5-all draw. It was a 10-0 win the way of New Lambton, who have certainly had their work cut out this afternoon.
It's a very different Azzurri team, though, we're seeing today, Harry. They've certainly grown and developed and improved this season under Alicia Ferguson after, you know, not knowing if they're going to be able to field a team this year.
Certainly positive signs. I'm really interested to see how the finals race shapes up. As we edge closer to the season, we'll obviously gather more of an understanding. It's just so tight between 3rd and 7th. Adamstown, massive win last night, but then you have Lakes Olympic in action tomorrow. So many teams hot and cold. And just as the Knights did last night, as scrappy as it was, being a Knights fan myself, I was at least happy that the 2 points were secure, because a Knights team of old probably wouldn't have hung on and won the game. As there's a little bit of concern here after a challenge that saw Carstairs fly through the back of, I think it's Gosling. Skipper there for New Lambton. Just feeling a little bit of discomfort. Back to her feet now, which is great to see. Little scare there for New Lambton fans. Amy Gosling, such an integral part of their back line. And she's able to continue for the time that remains. There'll be a drop ball away of New Lambton, who get things back underway. Montana Quick out to Lauren Allen. Centrally to the substitute in Nia Bradley, who loses out to Copus Brown. Scarcio as well playing a more advanced role. Down the right, Taryn King. Perez back to Hunter.
Again, just not able to capitalise though with that chance at attack, were they? They had to hold up, stop, wait. New Lambton are attacking a lot more fluidly, a lot more quickly.
Trying to be sent forward, looking for Tara Andrews, who's only got the one goal to her name this afternoon. Was the case as well last week. Sometimes we've seen Tara Andrews grab a brace, grab a hat-trick, and it's certainly not out of the equation yet. There's Perrins lining up to switch it out wide. Scarcio wins the header, invites Carstairs to chase it down. The header had a bit too much force behind it. Hunter getting some sort of contact. It wasn't enough to see the danger. And Santiana Fraser-Kelly slipping it through. Offside flag stays down, and Lauren Allen makes it number 3 for New Lambton. It started at the back with Janali Haynes lofting it forward, and Lauren Allen brings up her 4th goal in her return in New Lambton colours. Makes it New Lambton 3, Charlestown Azzurri 0.
Yeah, I think you saw Taryn King appealing, for the offside there, but as your coaches always tell you, Harry, you've got to keep running. You've just got to play the whistle. Great running behind by Lauren Allen. And a good finish. She would have been wishing you had a couple of those ones from the first half again, so she'd be happy with that one.
Is that the goal that all but seals the deal here at Lyle Carr Oval? You can see the energy still there for Azzurri, but going forward, the more clinical of the two sides has been the Golden Eagles. Certainly love to see a bit of late drama if Charleston are able to manage to grab one quickly. Perrins driving forward, leaving Montana Quick behind. Playing a cross in that didn't have too much height about it. Now Cobus Brown losing out to Bradley and sent forward by Caitlin Pickett.
Well, she's been good, Perrins. She's won a lot of ball. Just again, what they do with it when they've got it, what the support's like, who's making the runs, who they got in there. So it's probably the questions for Azzurri. Yeah, that's just where they've been quite sound defensively. They've been, caught as they get caught a little bit more here on the break again. But they have defended well. They've had good intensity in the middle of the park. It's just that final third a little bit, isn't it?
Certainly is. Can they keep the margin at 3, or will New Lambton go and grab another? Andrews looking to flick it in behind. Slipping it through Tara Andrews, looking for Pickett. Falls to Bradley. Bradley to Allen. Salvador not too far advanced as we've been accustomed to seeing her. Now they'll look over the top for Lauren Allen, and Chloe Martin comes across to see out the danger. Top of the table showdown next week. New Lambton at home to Maitland. Saturday at 4:30.
It'll be a good one because they haven't really showed up, New Lambton, or Maitland have been extremely clinical in both exchanges so far this year.
Yeah, Maitland putting fair few goals past them when they've met earlier in the season. While for Charlestown, they head to Darling Street Oval on Sunday afternoon to face Newcastle Olympic. Always tightly congested, those clashes. A few players coming up against their old clubs as well, which we see a lot here in the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's, as Allen turning on the afterburners, has Andrews inside. Can't get the pass away, but she's then again straight into defensive duties and winning a corner. And we spoke about the fact that when New Lambton have turned the ball over, they're just winning it off Charlestown and doing so really well.
Yeah, they're putting on good pressure. I mean, there was probably a bit too much force from Lauren Allen there. I think some referees might have given a free kick there. She was right in the back of the Azzurri defender.
Allen sending it in. Andrews gets a nod onto it. Not enough to turn it goal bound.
But they have used their body well as well. They've been strong in the challenge.
So for Charlestown now, Renee, how do they see out this game? Is it a case of not letting the margin increase, or is there still a chance for them to potentially grab one and then make it a contest?
Well, it's that tricky one, isn't it? You often see, coaches then push numbers forward, maybe go to a 3 at the back, and then you might get caught on the transition. Look, I think, like I said before, the sentiment for Azzurri this year and Alicia Ferguson seems to be, consolidation. Let's build a platform for next season. I think they'll probably just stick to what they're doing, try to get stuck in. They're probably not going to change too much in these later stages of the game.
That's thumb forward there by Bartels. It certainly had some power behind it. Carstairs unable to win it off Gosling. Interested to see what happens from here. Azzurri, I had quite high hopes for them coming into this afternoon, just based off recent form and the experience of Taryn King, as well as Libby Copus-Brown.
Well, and that's the thing too, Taryn King, I think this might be her 4th game in this side. Libby Copus-Brown, it's only her 3rd. Just getting those combinations together. I'd like to see Libby Copus-Brown and Rachel Perrins working a bit better together in the midfield.
Taryn King debuting in round 10. As you said, Copus-Brown in round 12. And they've got a free kick here, and interestingly, it'll be Bartels to come over the halfway line to take. Tara Andrews having a little chat there with Bartels as she looks to send this one forward. Taryn King, one of many Charlestown plays presenting in the box. It's certainly not a bad cross.
It's a great ball in, wasn't it, Harry? A great kick. It stayed low. There were numbers flooding through for Azzurri.
Certainly can't fault Bartels there. You always not run the risk, but you're trying to impress the coach when you want to come forward and take free kicks like that. And safe to say, maybe if they get another free kick in similar position, she'll be one of the first putting her hand up to take.
Again, you want to get those numbers forward. You're 3-0 down. You probably don't want to have, you get an extra player up there by bringing Bartels forward. She can boot the ball. They've had their chances that, they, like we said earlier, Azzurri probably had the first best clear-cut chance before the goals came in the first half when Riley Gardner hit the crossbar on the counter-attack.
New Lambton might be in the mood for more. Bradley streaming forward, and Fisher's making the overlapping run. This is well worked by New Lambton. Fisher on her non-dominant foot. Andrews trying to get in there. Lauren Allen as well. And the offside flag was raised against Lauren Allen.
Well, this is where they've looked good, haven't they, New Lambton? They've attacked well in the flanks. They've found nice space. They've linked up well.
Periods over the top. This is better from Charlestown. The amount of runs that were pouring forward there certainly showed signs of intent, but now it's New Lambton on the front foot. Caitlin Pickett down the left-hand side, searching for that right foot, and the pass can't find a mark. And now it's Copus-Brown to turn to work the magic. Libby Copus-Brown steaming forward with options aplenty. Carstairs didn't realise the pass was finding a bit of contact late on from Gosling. Continues now, and Perrin shooting from distance. Nice shape onto the shot, and it's a shot on target.
I don't mind it.
Onto now.
And it was a good passage, and there was that support, you know, you could look back, and Perrins was there. It was a long-range, you know, speculator. Sometimes they come off, Harry. She hit it well.
Redmond slipping it through, and nearly a chance. Well, they're seeming to liven things up in the late stages here at Lolcara, the home side. Can New Lambton hold on to that clean sheet, or will Charlestown pinch one back? Hunter. Perez. Using the width well, Fisher gets a crucial touch, and it falls to Copus-Brown, threading it through, and again, that final product not there. Here is Libby Copus-Brown again, gliding past a few players. Libby Copus-Brown up against Fisher. Doesn't have the option, so has to send it in the box. And there were no runners following through, so into the hands of Haynes, who is closing in on the clean sheet.
And look, you know, you want to win every game. I wouldn't know any coach who wouldn't want to win every game or player, but Azzurri are still in the mix, you know, with 5-6 games to go. And what's important is probably winning the games, you know, like next week against Olympic. The teams that are around, you know, yes, they're probably not going to get away with the result today, but New Lambton, they've probably sealed their final spot already. It's still really congested, like we've mentioned a few times. You know, I'll be watching that one next week against Olympic very interestingly, because I think, you know, they're a real chance in that one.
They certainly are. And you just don't know what this competition can throw up on his day, as Copus-Brown shooting from distance. And that might just sum up Charlestown's afternoon so far. New Lambton, fair credit to them. They have stood up to every task that Charlestown have thrown at them, but the execution and the attack going forward hasn't been there. Header over the top, Carstairs, who's been busy since coming on. Copus-Brown brings it to ground and did feel some contact after beating Gosling. You could hear the boots collide, and a throw-in is all that's given.
We've certainly seen Libby Copus-Brown a bit more in the play in this half, especially towards the ladder, haven't we? You know, with that shift into the central midfield rather than out there on the left.
Certainly a position she feels that little bit more comfortable in. Bring up 100 A-League games, I believe it was, this season for the Jets. And we know she can combine really well. Not the season that the Newcastle Jets women's were after in the first year under Stephen Hoyle, but I think there's plenty of build-off heading into next year. Lovely dink over the top. Libby Copus-Brown leaves it for Redmond, but it's a Salvador again. Well, I've been lucky enough to commentate New Lambton the last 2 weeks, and as much as the accolades might go to Lauren Allen, Caitlin Pickett, or Tara Andrews, defensively, Molly Salvador has been everywhere for New Lambton.
She's having a great season, and she spoke to Craig Atkins a while ago, and he was saying, you know, that they brought her in to cover, you know, the loss of Tessa Tamplin, who's a former A-League player and has played in the, you know, the Swiss League, some of the biggest competitions over there in Europe. And look, she's replaced her perfectly, you know. She's done a great job.
So we're closing in on stoppage time here, and New Lambton might be in the mid for more. Bartell's way out of her area. Lauren Allen going for the dink. And the crowd anxiously waiting to see what would happen. It just goes wide of the post. That would have topped off what's been an incredible afternoon for New Lambton.
I think the question too, you know, with Azzurri, it's where do you know, you've got a couple of new players who've come in.
There's Allen now, Renee. Allen in behind, a chance to all but seal it here for New Lambton. And two teammates in Allen and Andrews aren't able to combine. Sorry, Renee.
No. Right. You know, obviously Taryn King's a centre-back. That's where we're playing her. But where do you play Libby Copus-Brown? You know, you can play her in that front third. You know, like if can you push Denali Hunter forward? That worked against Lake Macquarie, but, we saw Libby Coase-Brown playing out in the left today to start with. So I guess just that, what's going to work best to spark that attack and to get the best out of the players, to get the best out of Libby Coase-Brown and the players around her.
Salvador picking up the scraps. Fisher in there as well now. Huge opportunity to break late on here for Charlestown. Carstairs has Copas-Brown outright in acres of space, and unfortunately didn't have the vision to look up out on the right-hand side. She's still done well to win the ball back, and it's a crunching challenge. Montana Quick coming in from behind. It's a late decision, but a free kick the way of Azzurri.
Yeah, she was isolated out there, Carstairs, a little bit, wasn't she? But you're right, if she had pulled the ball back and turned her body, she would have seen Libby Copas-Brown was in acres of space out there on the right side of the field and in a dangerous position. So I guess it's, just, you've got some young players in there, getting that awareness, that decision-making. We see it at the top level as well. But they're the kind of things that are going to help this Azzurri team.
Well, how's this? 3-0 down, and I'm not sure whether Bartels will go for goal or send this one in the box. But she's come a long way to take this one. Danielle Bartels with options at the back stick. Taryn King, one of them. It'll be Bartels dinking out. A dangerous position, and it beats everyone at the back stick. Well, again, thought the delivery wasn't too bad, and it just beats everyone and goes out for a New Lambton goal kick. And we might just be up to the referee's discretion here as to how long is played. Lawson to Allen, who's given up on the chase, and invites Charlestown forward for potentially one last time here. And it's not a bad ball. Again, a bit of height about it. Nearly troubled Haynes with the bounce, but she's been comfortable this afternoon.
Yeah, she hasn't got a lot to do, Harry, but when she has, she's had it covered.
Allen flicking it over the top. Taryn King sending it out wide.
But I think the halftime changes for Azzurri, they've done well.
So we have injected that little bit of spark. They've had patches in this contest. It's just that clear-cut chance that they've probably been missing. But I certainly agree. Those changes have added a bit more purpose to their attack. There's now Carstairs trying to keep this one in. Doing so well. And Charlestown might end this contest. It might be the final play of the game. And it will be Charlestown to potentially have last use of the ball. Might have a little bit more stoppage time now, I think about it. Renee with some of the injuries to Amy Gosling and co, who went to ground as Copas-Brown inside. On that left foot, dinking it in. And it's a wall of white there for New Lambton, who defend that situation well. And now get straight on the front foot. Lauren Allen bursting forward. Caitlin Pickett, the only teammate in support. Allen cutting inside. Allen trying to do it all herself. Gets inside of Chloe Martin. Allen to the back stick. And it will only go as far as finding her teammate in Libby Copas-Brown. Teammate of the Jets, I should mention.
Well, and again, we saw Rachel Perrins, got the foot in there, slowed down Lauren Allen. Didn't quite stop her, but she's covered a lot of ground. She's done a lot of work. She's, we said it earlier in the commentary. She's been a great addition to this team and to the competition.
So New Lambton, another win to add to the board for Craig Atkins. Takes in the 10 wins for the season. And they are knocking on the door of the Magpies, but their focus will be firmly on just building as a team, building those connections that have certainly been boosted by Lauren Allen, who's throwing it through to Fraser Kelly. And continuing to run, there's a fair few jumpers pouring forward. Santa Fraser Kelly into the path of Lauren Allen, who turned on the afterburners, but fatigue kicking in, it runs out of play. Redmond inside. Herons now looking out right, and again the pass didn't find its target, and that was all she wrote here at Lolcar Oval. The final action of the afternoon, and it's New Lambton who run out winners thanks to goals from Tara Andrews, Sienna Fraser-Kelly and Lauren Allen got the job done. Renee spoke about it throughout the contest, the fact that Charlestown just didn't have that execution going forward.
Yeah, that's right, but a bit to work on. Like we said, the changes were good at half-time. We got, they got Libby Copus-Brown more in the attack, which I think they're going to need to do going forward. New Lambton are coming second. Like you said, they've won 10 games. It's, going to be a real dogfight for those other two positions. Maitland and New Lambton got them sewn up. But, I'll be eagerly watching that one next week at Azzurri and Olympic, because I think it's going to be a good game.
Certainly will be a good one. Thank you, Renee. From myself, Harry Scobie and Renee Valentine, we are signing out here at Lolcar Oval as it finishes New Lambton Eagles 3, Charlestown Azzurri 0.